welcome. My name's Kathy A, and today I thought I would explore the exciting world of Dollar General. You know, I don't shop in that store very often. In fact, if I ever need a 3-pack of Granny Panties or maybe some Sour Patch Kids theater box, I stop in there, but I rarely shop in there. So I was watching somebody, it might have been Emily Noel or one of those folks, and she said she went to Dollar General and found these wonderful lip products, and I thought, okay, I would love to find, you know, really discounted price makeup that is good. I'm always on a quest for that. I'm always looking out for your pocketbook. You know, I've tried really expensive lines, and so it's always kind of fun to schlep a little bit in the lower income type stores. So I'm just going to tell you that most of the price points here were between $2 and $5. This reminds me a lot of the 7-Eleven makeup line, which I think fared a little bit better than these did. But let's just start. I'll just pull out these little gems from the bag. First of all, this is the lightweight BB cream from Broadway, and this is all stuff from the Dollar General store, and these are the brands that, I'm not going to talk about those stale old like Maybellines and things that they have that have been hanging out there for 5 years. I'm talking about the brands that are unique to Dollar General, and Broadway is one of their brands. The BB cream is not bad. It's actually very lightweight though, and it's more of a cream. And I think it's more suited towards younger, oily skin because it's got a very dry kind of finish to it. Not a whole lot of coverage, and it does not last throughout the day. So it really wasn't a big hit with me. You could put it underneath makeup. If you have oily skin, it probably could control something. It just clung to dry patches on me. And unfortunately, I try these things out. I do. I have like a primer on one side, nothing on the other side, and I put it on. And generally with a BB cream, you're supposed to put it straight on your skin anyway. You're not supposed to put a primer in between so that the SPF in it and all the beauty benefits of the beauty balm actually can penetrate into your skin. The primer actually acts as a barrier for that, so you're not really supposed to do that with BB creams and CC creams either. So anyway, it really wasn't all that great, and it didn't last very long. By 10 o'clock I looked pretty cupcakey, so unfortunately the BB cream was a fail. The concealer, another story. I was pleasantly surprised. This is the Broadway concealer. It is, there's nothing fancy here. I have the light fair white girl shade. It is a doe foot applicator. Looks suspiciously like the LA Girl kind of concealer. Now, there's not a whole lot of coverage, but one thing I did notice about this was that it didn't cling to dry patches. It didn't sink into the lines. It actually worked really well as a light concealer brightener. So I'd actually say for the price point, and I think it was like $3 for this, this actually worked quite well. And probably as well as some of the high-end concealers that I've found. So the color range, I think they had maybe 4 or 5 different shades, and this was the lightest fish belly white shade. So yeah, not bad at all. I was pleased with the cheek palette, and I believe this was $4. You have kind of a setting powder slash sort of a highlighter. You have a light peachy kind of blush color. You have a slightly darker red peachy color, and then you have this kind of brownish neutral zone peachy. This is the cheek palette in Spring. It's called Spring, this particular one. There was another one. I think it had slightly darker shades in it. Pigmentation isn't bad, but it was one of those things where I put on my cheeks and a few hours later I didn't really see it. So I think it kind of dissipates into the makeup universe of there must be some powders and things floating around in the air somewhere over the ozone. But there was just not too much left of this. This shade was not bad at all. It was a really pretty kind of neutral blush shade. I don't know if you can see that. I thought these were really nice for $4 price point. If you're in a pinch and you're near Dollar General, stop in, grab some. You've got a little bit of blush for, you know, you're on the run meeting somebody somewhere. Maybe it would work for you. Not bad at all for $4. Pretty good. The mascara. This was Mega Volume Mascara. This reminded me a lot of the Wet n Wild mascaras, and in fact the packaging looks a lot like their high volume mascara packaging. All of their formulas were waterproof, which I found really odd. There wasn't a regular formula, and the difference being is that waterproof formulas tend to be a little bit thinner because when they dry down they are a stronger hold, but you lose that volume because of that, so they could never give you really good big full lashes in the waterproof formulas. What you could do is put your regular mascara on and then put something like this over the top, because the brush itself was fine. I did use it, but I had to put like 3 or 4 coats on to even see it, and then, you know, I did like it over the top of my other mascara, and if that were waterproof coated on the top of your regular mascara, it's actually pretty good, but why use 2 steps, you know? So all of the mascaras, they were waterproof formulas. I'm wondering if they were the same formula and the brush was just different, but and they weren't very expensive, maybe $3 or $4. So I have to say the mascara really didn't wow me, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I've had worse. Broadway eyeshadow. Now, they had several different palettes, and they piqued my interest because they reminded me a little of those Beauty Treats ones that they have in the Five Below stores. But they are so lightly pigmented, you cannot make an eye look. Even with a color assortment, they don't look like this on your eye. There's hardly anything. I did put, like the blue, for instance, put it right there. You'll see it for an instant, and then by the end of this video you won't see it anymore. I'm going to put it on both sides so you'll see it right now. But by the end of the video I'm sure it'll be gone. There's a little bit of a shimmer shade that's not too bad. You can see it slightly under the brow bone. But the darker shade was okay. But, you know, there wasn't enough there. It was only $3, I think, for this palette. And they had 3 or 4 other color combination palettes for $3, but don't waste your money. It really didn't have enough pigment to hold. And then by the end of, well, actually by lunchtime, this eye makeup was completely gone off my eyes, because you're blinking, you're moving, your mobile lid is always moving, so it just kind of rubs it off a little bit and it just dissipates into the universe again. So that was a fail. The eyeshadow palettes just didn't work for me. This is the Broadway powder. And actually, it's slightly gritty, but it did work fairly well. I was pleased with it. Comes with a really kind of a professional looking sponge here. And it's got, you know, holes in the bottom so it can breathe. But the powder actually, I would say, was pretty good. It it's a mattifying powder. The coverage was really good, and I can't complain. I thought the powder was pretty good, and I think that was like $3 as well. So that's a pressed powder. It's just slightly gritty, but I think it's got all the makings of a higher range powder than its price point. So the powder was good. I would say that that would be a recommended thingy. The eyebrow pencil. This was the biggest surprise, and this was the biggest success in this line. It is called Broadway Eyebrow Pencil. And this color is Taupe Brown. It has a spoolie on one end that's a very powerful spoolie. It's a really nice one. And on this end there's a sharpener. I'll just demonstrate here. There you go. It's got a sharpener. And I think that's a very nice thing. You can put other things in there and sharpen them too if you're, you know, traveling and in a rush. But I thought this pencil worked really well. You can draw tiny little lines with it. You can fill in sparse points. I have no complaints about this, and the price point was excellent. I think it was like $2 or $3. So that was definitely worth it. The color was a soft light brown to dark blonde color, which was perfect for me. I really liked the eyebrow pencil. It was definitely a treasure. This was a treasure in the collection. The Contour Artist Powder from Broadway. I have to say I did like the darkest shade here, and this is the, I believe this is the light. This is light medium, and then there was like a medium dark. So the light medium, this is very jaundiced looking on your skin. You can look very, very sick, especially with this color. You can use it as an eyeshadow. You know, you have to think outside the box sometimes with these products. You can use it as an eyeshadow, so I mean, it's not, all is not lost here. But I did like this very much as a contour. It's slightly warm, but not bad. Again, if you're in a pinch and you're near a Dollar General and you need to like fix up your face and you've got nothing in your purse, this was like $3 or $4, so it definitely was worth it. This is more of a setting powder kind of thing. I didn't really think that was all that great. And this was definitely the jaundice yellow, and this was very, very jaundice yellow too. So neither one of these would I use anywhere on my face outside of being maybe an eyeshadow. You know, you can use it as a nice bright eyeshadow. So this, you know, this was good. It was all right. It was all right as a contour palette. Not bad. Now the Broadway line is kind of, I think it's exclusive to Dollar General, but they also have another line there called LA Colors, and that's in a lot of the Dollar Trees and the dollar stores. They had different products than I've seen in the Dollar Tree, and they had little bins, 2 for $1. So I saw these baby pop colors, and I was kind of impressed with these. These seem to be a different formula than the ones in the pans. I mean, this is kind of a shimmery brown. It seems like these had a little bit more pigment, and they were 50 cents, which I thought was a great price. This is a nice kind of coppery color. I'll just put that on that side so you can see. That wasn't bad, and I used this dipped in MAC Fix Plus, putting it in this copper color. I lined underneath my eyes, and it actually was pretty nice, and it did last, but I think that's because of the MAC Fix Plus liquid stuff I used. So these weren't bad. They seem to be much better than the regular palettes for LA Colors. Now, LA Colors is a cheap brand. Don't confuse it with LA Girl. LA Girl is different. It's a different brand, and it's a higher quality. The LA Colors matte palette, I figured I'd give it a try. This is the one in linen. It was the most neutral looking of the group. I couldn't get anything out of this. It was just awful. It swatched okay. It disappeared on the face. I tried to use this as a crease color, and I wound up with a hot mess. It was just a muddy, hot mess. The lighter colors were okay, but they faded out so quickly. It was just a total loss. I'm so disappointed. So LA Colors, just their eyeshadows just don't do it for me at all. Now, also in the 2 for $1 bin were eye pencils and lip pencils. And of course, they have these funky colors. This one is a very pretty lip color. I used it as a lip color underneath, and I put some gloss over the top of it, and it lasted quite a while. So these are 50 cents each. So 2 for $1. These covers don't stay on there, though. You're going to have to maybe coat this with a little hot glue or something so that you can push it in. It will hold. It does not stay on there. It falls out in your purse, and then everything is coated in pink stripes. This other one is a very pretty kind of bronzy color, little shimmery. You can stick it underneath the eye. This is the same thickness as the new Kat Von D basket case liner, you know, the one for Billy Joe from Green Day. I have that, and in fact I have it on part of my eye. I can't wait to talk about it. I bought so many really beautiful products this month, and I can't wait to talk about them. I think I'm going to be rushing my best of January because there's just too many things out there. So yeah, I liked these pencils, and they had black and they had dark brown, but I just thought I'd get a little creative. They did have a red lip pencil as well. I'm not really a red girl, although people tell me that that's the color I should wear. Back to Broadway. Now this is one of the things that Emily Noel said was perfect. She loved it. The liquid lip lacquer. This is the matte shade, and I hate matte. Oh God, I hate matte. This was like fluorescent coral on me. And yeah, it did last all day. The ugly ones always last all day. I tell you, it was... Alright, let me just do it. I'll just do it. How's that? And you can see. Not supposed to move your lips. And yeah, under these lights, but under the daylight, it's very clownish. Very clownish. It's very bright. So if you're going to have a color like this, you can kind of subdue it a little bit with a gloss over the top that's got a slight kind of neutral color. But yeah, she was right. It does last. It's very patchy, and if you have lips that aren't in great condition, it's going to jump all over the little cracks and dings and dents and show them as little black dings and dents. It's a little bit sloppy to use too, so if you've got a little bit of a shaky hand or your lip lines aren't as straight as they used to be when you were in your 30s, it's not an attractive look for older lips, especially if you have a lot of wrinkles and crinkles around your lips, because no, the color is kind of interesting. The formula lasts quite a while, but it is very patchy, and most matte liquid lips tend to dry down very, very harshly. They're not forgiving at all, and so I didn't like it for that reason. But I did like the LA Colors Baby Pop. These were 2 for $1, and this color especially, and I think it's called Nude. This one is something red, but this nude color, oh my gosh. Let me just wipe this one off and put this one on. It says on the little bottle that it's a gloss, but it's actually a liquid lip color, and it's very creamy. Alright, I'm just going to put this one on. This is Nude. This is LA Colors Lip Gloss. And I'm telling you, it's pretty. Slightly sweet pong to it. It's very pretty on. I mean, that's very, it's more like a cream lipstick, but it's a liquid format. It says it's a gloss, but it goes on just like a liquid lipstick. So there is a lot of opaque texture here. And I really like it. I think it's a beautiful daytime look as well as into evening transition. Under this light, it's slightly lighter than it appears in the daytime. If you put a gloss over the top of it, it's absolutely beautiful for 50 cents, 2 for $1. And now the red one, it goes more of a pinky red, and you know what I mean. I'll put it right over the top. And this one looks a little patchy going on. Of course, I'm not, right next to my makeup mirror. I'm trying to do this in the viewfinder, which is very difficult. This is a skill set, huh? Won't look good on my resume, but... Okay. So this is the red, and you see it goes kind of pinkish. And it's a little more sheer than you would expect. So it's actually very pretty also for 50 cents. And it lasts. And the wear down on it is nice. It wears down evenly. So that was just another surprise. Maybe that was better than the eyebrow pencil. I don't know. But I think all of those things were very nice. Yes, there is a little transfer with this until it's dry. one last thing, and they had all the cheapy Wet n Wild stuff because they have all the stale, I always call it the stale versions of the drugstore makeup, you know, when they have like Maybelline and CoverGirl and Wet n Wild. It's usually stale old stuff, old packaging. I don't know how old it was. Anyway, this is the H2O proof, and it's an eyeliner, and oh my god, I had the hardest time drawing a line over my crepey old lumpy lids. This is not made for somebody who has some challenges to their lids. Definitely not. But the formula does last, and I know because my eyelids look messy all day long. Yeah. What this is good for is if you're putting false lashes on, a lot of times there's those little dots, you know, where the hairs are attached to the little fish wire or whatever it is. So you can just take this and kind of go in between the little dots and it fills those in. But I couldn't use it as a lining kind of thing at all. So it's kind of a fail, but you know, other people name this as like one of their favorite drugstores of the year last year. I'm like, really? God, it sucked. I thought it sucked. Well, anyway. Okay, well, Dollar General, good for those 3-pack granny panties and good for theater candy. And now good for concealer, eyebrow pencil, and lip gloss. So, gets a thumbs up from me. I hope you're all having a wonderful week and have a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.